Welcome everyone, this is Toy-Nutz doing a quick toy hunt here at the Highway 102 Flea Market in Rogers, Arkansas. I'll drop all the information on the location, address, and website and all that down below in the description. But let's take a walk through the store here, see what's new in the flea market. And right off the bat, I see an old Voltron Vehicle Force, missing his hand. Otherwise, it looks pretty good shape and everything. Not too bad looking. Was it about 130, 150, 130? But yeah, looks pretty cool. All right, we'll head down the main hall here. This is broken off into several different little hallways. Antiques, collectibles, everything's in here. You name it, they pretty much have it in this little antique mall here. Like I said, I love this flea market. It's really good for collectible figures, geek stuff, if you will. Lots of movies and games and that, but I mean, it's a really good flea market. It has just about everything for anyone. Of course, I won't be highlighting all the booths and rooms here. I'm just going to do highlights of the ones that pique my interest with the stuff I'm interested in, This one's usually pretty good. I picked up a couple of good vehicles for the G.I. Joes and such in here. Bags and bags of Legos. They're not always horribly priced. You can find some really good deals in this little flea market here. But yeah, this main hallway here, rooms on each side. And then the hallways themselves are filled with everything from pops to videos to toys. And I mean, yeah, just pretty much what you see in all the this is a newer setup here from the last time I've been in here. So they do rotate their stock, which is good with several of these dealers and that have the collectibles and that. They haven't really had the spawns in these McFarlanes here. Looks like they're all pretty much I don't know, those are actual Spawn or Youngblood and all that. Yeah, pretty cool to see. Of course, you got all your Power of the Force here. I think this is like a standard requirement of all flea markets in the toy shows and things around now. You pretty much find all these Power of the Force, Star Wars, Hot Wheels, and Pops. I think those are like the three big things that you're just don't really see this one very often. Not too bad. I like the Power of the Force. There's several that I do buy, mostly the droids and things like that. Haven't seen these sets in here before. I remember when they came out. But yeah, like I said, this mall has just about things of everything. Movies galore. Yeah, DVDs. There's a VHS dealer, person with laser discs. Of course, they're flooded with Hot Wheels, NASCAR, and that die-cast is just about like Beanie Babies and everything else. They're just, people thought they were going to get rich off them, and now they're flooding the flea markets. This is one of the better booths for collectibles and things. This booth really changes out their product pretty often. That's good to see. The Simpson figures here are new. He hasn't had these before. And yeah, this one, I mean, you name it. Lots of little different tchotchkes around and that. His prices are not horrible. I found some really good deals in here. And there's some that, they're a little overpriced for what they are. I don't always see Sigma 6. Those are pretty cool to see. And this booth is bringing in more Barbies. They never had this many before, so that's pretty cool to see. Getting, like I said, this booth, there are several dealers in here that will refresh and move around and bring in new product, which is good. You need to. And of course, looking at the lots of loose figures, you can find some really good deals and hidden gems in this stuff. And more Star Wars. This one has some pretty good figures. I've cleaned them up pretty good of some of the others though. Moving down this one hallway, which was a dead end, back to the center section here where you can pay. There's a second payment station downstairs. Lots of littlest pet shops here. This person's had this little setup for a while, and every time it seems to get low, they'd restock, so that's good to see. I guess these pet shops are pretty collectible. Some more little tchotchkes hanging around in this section. Again, I'm just going to be highlighting certain booths that have the action figures and things like that that I'm really into. A lot of these other booths are anything from sporting equipment and things like that, to just your standard flea market fairs of old chairs, artworks, things like that. So like I said, this mall has just about everything you need, something for everyone. If you're in this area, I highly recommend stopping in at this Highway 102 flea market. This section right here, this guy keeps changing this up. Now he's got wrestling figures, these Monster Highs. Last time I was here, it was more, these were like loose miscellaneous action figures, Transformers, and the Monster High. Now there's even more Monster Highs and everything. This is where the store splits. You got 3 different hallways. This one, you need Simpsons. I think this is just about close to an almost entire line of it. Yeah. In this little side room here, this one has some really good shirts every once in a while. I found Disney Park shirts and some other cool shirts in there for pretty cheap. Haven't seen these ecto goggles here from the Real Ghostbusters line. Those are cool. It's been a long time since I've seen those. I'm moving down another hallway here. This is all new. Haven't seen these Black Series in the store before. And a nice giant wall of Power of the Force and Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones figures here. I mean, good assortment. I've been finding some of the really odd and older Power of the Force line figures here. And they've been, most I've paid has been like $10 or $12. And yeah, picked up some really good figures here. Good to see that this is getting refreshed. There's a lot of new figures in here from the last time I was here. And like I said, I found some really good of the end of the line. They weren't as many made of the Power of the Force here. So that's really cool to see. Yeah, that's good to see. And might have to pick this up. Ali Sand there from the diner scene. That's also the droid style that they used for the Star Tours ride. This booth is changing over. It used to be nothing but tools and things. Now there's Barbies, some other action figures in that, and lots of videos and music in here. So that's cool to see that. Don't know if it's the same person or not, but it's good to see that things are, like I said, in a change, being updated, moved around and refreshed. Pretty much leads to a dead end, so we'll swing back around, and this is that little three-way section here. They got this little closet here filled with nothing but models. Pretty cool to see. There's some really good models in here. Prices are a little high, but again, dig and look. I'm sure you can find some really good ones. And a lot of these dealers, if you go to the front register and that, they will, they'll call them, and a lot of them will deal, and that makes some offers. This is the main hallway down to the next section of the flea market. This stuff, I mean, you just got to look at all these little pegs. You'll find anything, bags of figures and that just be hidden in here with all this other stuff. Yeah, like I said, you just got to constantly keep looking, but that's typical for just about every flea market. Keep your eyes open. One of the cool little sections they got here is like a little, they call a little break room, refreshment corner here. They got a couple of video game units, which are also for sale. A couple of those arcade one-ups and that. And then they got like a little seating area, a refrigerator, so you can buy like drinks and that, can of soda or whatever in it. And they got like a little bar area, and they got ESPN or whatever sporting things is going on over the weekends here. So just a neat little thing. But then we go down the stairs here to the second section of the flea market. And this is the last section of the flea market here. It's pretty much this one hallway all the way down. Most of the offices are off to the side here, filled with booths with you name it, it's down here. This one has a lot of the more collectible stuff. There's, as you'll see in the video here as we walk along, I'll highlight the really good booths, or what I feel are the really good booths. And the big thing here is along the walls on each side are these little, they got these pegboards set up, and this is where a lot of the figures are. So, I mean, this is, yeah, you got to give yourself a good 2 hours to get through this, I'd say, if not a little bit more. And here, I mean, this is why this little shelf, that's a Disney bear, the precursor to Duffy, which is really popular. And then, of course, you got the old vintage Ewok figure here, stuffed one. Looks in really good shape, and they, of course, know what they have. That's a little high, I think. But, yeah, both its eyes are there in really good shape. It's nice and clean, and tag showing, yeah, it's not a repo or anything. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I know this is long, but like I said, there's all these little nooks and crannies, and you'll find these little shelves, and they're filled with stuff. I mean, that's why I said you got to give yourself some time, because there are things. That's a cool X-Men game. I remember having that when I was back in the 90s. But yeah, like I said, and then of course all the figures sitting here on the wall. I mean, and again, give yourself 2 weeks and you come back and it's pretty much changed. So that's one thing I do like and hate at the same time, I guess, if you will. Yeah, this is a great place. This is a good way to kill some time, kill an afternoon, and of course, waste some money on some really cool collectibles. And as you can see, while there are lots of Pops and lots of Hot Wheels and NASCAR diecast, it's not the majority. I mean, there's a good amount of this Hot Wheels, but I mean, and the Power of the Force, but it's not the majority of stuff. There is so many different types of lines in here. That's again one of the things I like about this flea market. And this entire wall was not covered with this stuff before. So these are all new figures or stock and inventory, I guess, if you will. This used to be nothing but artwork on this wall. I mean, look at this. Now we've got, man, yeah, they got a nice little assortment and selection of figures. And yeah, this is going to be fun to go through. And of course, it's tied to this booth here, which I've found many a good deals in here of loose figures and some of the carded. But yeah, this is another one that I can spend a good amount of time in. Bags of wrestling figures here. Yeah, this is a really good booth. Like I said, this guy, yeah, they got some really good stuff. And these bags of figures, you just got to dig and look through because, again, you can find some hidden gems in here. And this room's pretty much nothing but Pops. There's a couple of other things. I noticed he added in some Barbies, but yeah. And if you're looking for older comics, this is the room. I know I spent at least an hour in here once before just digging through, finding, and prices are not bad. He knows what he's got, but you can still find some really good bargains and everything. But there's a lot, and it does seem to change a lot. So every time you're in, pretty much you want to dig through if you want. Yeah. That USA one keeps calling me. If he had more than just like 2 or 3 issues, I'd probably be grabbing them. And this little closet area here is always a good one to check out. It's easy to walk by. It doesn't look like I have much, but every once in a while you can find some cool stuff. This is pretty much the end of the flea market here. This new booth here, it's changed over. It did not have all these old Hot Wheels and everything. So I'm gonna take a quick look through this place. They die cast and things, and if you're into vinyl, this place is really cool. This section of the store, it's at the bottom, the secondary entrance, if you will. This guy's really cool to deal with. I've dealt with him before. He's usually there always every Friday and Saturday. If you find the owner there, he'll cut you some really good deals. This wall is constantly changing. Those Star Trek figures have not been there before. I've been tempted on those Shadow Ninjas. If I didn't already have both of those guys complete, I'd probably get them, but I'm not really a mint on card guy, but they look really cool. These Star Wars figures, some of them are new, and then the Superpowers are definitely new. He has not had those before. Those look really good. Don't need to be starting another line though. And this one's been a popular booth recently. It's pretty much all Magic the Gathering cards and some other role-playing stuff. Lots of hero clicks. But yeah, it's like he's got like little baggies and you just fill them up with cards. And yeah, build your own decks in that and sell them that way. And he sells them individually. He has prices listed on the wall somewhere. My big thing is he's got several old D&D modules from the first edition and advanced. Yeah, I love some of them, but he knows what he's got, so he's not asking ridiculous prices. But yeah, some really good prices on his books, but I just can't really pull the trigger on them just yet. The last 2 or 3 booths down here are nothing but clothing, but I gotta show you this one because it's pretty good. He's changed it around, a lot more models and everything in here. It used to be nothing but pops, but I think he took over that other room and he moved all his pops over there. So this is a really good one. And this booth over here used to be nothing but vintage clothing and furniture and such, but now it's a lot of collectibles. And so new vendor coming in, it looks like. This looks pretty cool. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to go through. It's got this center section here with all these Barbies. That's pretty neat. If you're into Barbies or know someone that is, you can drop them here while you're looking through. Lots of loose figures. This is going to be fun to go through. Hopefully I can find something really cool here. These look like a lot of He-Man. These are all Transformers and everything. Looks like a mix of old and some newer. Yeah, I'm not really big into the Transformers. I know enough to be getting myself in trouble if I try. Looks like almost a complete Devastator here. All the little construction vehicles in that. And yeah, that's part of, I know that's part of Predaking. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, this is a new guy. I haven't seen this booth or a lot of these figures and that in here before. Yeah, a lot of Transformers. These are pretty cool. Yeah, that's Predaking. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a full Predaking in here loose, but there's enough pieces. Yep, another one. Again, I know enough to be dangerous, so to my wallet. And then these look like pretty much a lot of He-Man and Ghostbusters, some Turtles. So yeah, nice little assortment here that this guy's got in. And at the end of the hallway here, this is another local vintage thrifting store. I know they've got another setup down in Fayetteville. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this hallway. And then this is where you go to check out. There is this one more little section here with a lot of different toys. It's pretty good mix. They used to have some really good stuff, but I think we bought them out, and now they're just filling the display cases with whatever they can find. Yeah, so a little bit of everything, and then the back section here is pretty much all old vintage pop culture styled tees and such. Although this vintage Transformers duffel bag's pretty cool. That's $75 cool, but that's pretty cool nonetheless. This is where you check out. This is just some display cabinets here in the front, plus another set over on the other side of the cash register. Pretty much nothing but like these little minifigs in this one, some trading cards and video games on the other that I'll show here in a second or two. As I do, I want to say thanks for watching the video. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment below if you've ever been here, or if you plan on hitting the area. I do recommend, if you're in the Rogers, Bentonville, Fayetteville, Springdale, Arkansas area, this is one of the cool flea markets to stop at. This thing has, again, just about everything for everyone. It's a good killer of time. I'm sure you can find something. I'll drop again all the information on the location, address, and all that down below in the comments. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. And as always, Excelsior!